The wise yet ever so annoying artist known as Pink once said, once you figure out what respect tastes like, it tastes better than attention. But you have to get there. Let's get into another Derek O'Shea Show. Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show, where we discuss culture, news, politics, and more. Sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the show. Be sure to tell your friends and family about the revolution. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me. It means so much to me that you do that. If you don't mind sharing this video with all your friends and family, put it on all social media networks, because the only way I grow is through you. It's not through the YouTube algorithms, especially as I'm on my second strike. It's only a matter of time before this channel goes away, and then I go away, and then we never hear from me again. We'll figure out how to work through that. But if you want to support my show, you go to buymeacoffee.com/Derek O'Shea Show. I'd greatly appreciate it. Buymeacoffee.com/Derek O'Shea Show. Let's go back to that quote. Once you figure out what respect tastes like, it tastes better than attention. And I think that's the most important point when it comes to Pink. See, AOC is in the news everywhere. I scoured the internet for news to talk about. They're talking about voting rights, which is totally bullcrap. You have the right to vote. I don't know if people know that, but you do. They want to just add extra stuff to allow people like non-citizens to vote. That's always nice, and make, mail-in ballots just a thing that we do. Why? Because that's the most safe and secure way to do elections, right? Wink, unwink, wink. But the media is, of course, the corporate media is talking about AOC. And a lot of prominent YouTubers and podcasters are well, so I might as well join the ranks. But I'm bored of talking about her. She's going on my list of things I don't want to talk about anymore. I have a list. COVID, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm tired of battling with the narrative. I'm tired of battling with what's true, what's not true. And I'm tired of my YouTube channel being taken down for spreading information that the CDC puts out, because apparently it's what you're allowed to say regarding COVID changes daily. But AOC is going on my list because, A, she doesn't have any power over my life. I know people like to pretend that she does. I know she says incredibly crazy things. She is the right's Marjorie Taylor Greene to the left. They love these people because they can easily pick on them for things that they say. They can be more aggressive. However, I will give Marjorie Taylor Greene a lot of credit because she went on Tim Cass, and I watched her on there. And I think that any politician that can do an hour and a half, 2 hour, 3 hour long podcast and have a conversation like a normal human being that shows that they're, not totally narrative driven, that they can have some original thoughts and they can have some original opinions, I think should be given credit to where credit is due, because that is such a rarity in today's culture. Could you imagine Joe Biden going on Joe Rogan and doing a 3 hour podcast? No, absolutely not. Could you see Donald Trump? Maybe. I don't know who else could do it. I know Tulsi Gabbard did it. I know even Bernie Sanders did it. I give respect to that, because we live in a culture today where information is scarce and it's hard to find. And also it's shoved down. It's misinformation. It's censored. It's talking down to. So just getting a one-on-one with a politician to make you feel like they're a human being and not just crap, I guess. I don't know what else to explain it as that. I just feel like our politicians think they're untouchable, and they think they can get away and say whatever they want, whenever they want, because they can't, because the media has their back. But AOC is going on my list of things. She's got COVID. Who cares? She went to Florida without a mask. I don't care. Can we stop giving her the power? She's taking on the role that the media gave to Trump, where Trump would just say things and they would lose their minds and talk about him all day, to the point where even still in today's culture, in today's corporate media, they still talk about him like he's in power. And And the average human being like you and myself who goes and works for a living and then reads the news, and all the news is about what Trump is doing, as opposed to, things that really affect me, like inflation or what's going on in Kazakhstan or what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. Also, our food, our shipping supply, like stuff that actually affects me, they're not actually talking about because it takes time and actual journalism to do, when you can just be a show like TMZ and just talk about what's my local politician up to these days? Are they being scandalous? Because I would love to know about that, because it's fun to make fun of. These people are easy talking points. AOC is an easy narrative. And she's easily something to talk about. She talked about when she gets critiqued about going to Florida, whenever she gets critiqued, like right here, Republicans are just sexually frustrated and want to date me. Don't give it attention. This is childish and stupid. But in some degree, it has a lot to what's going on in our culture today, is that you're not allowed to critique people. And when you do critique people, it's because you're racist. It's because you're homophobic. It's because you're not feminist, or you hate women, or you hate this, or you hate that. It's not that you're critiquing my ideas. You're also, I'm going to put you in a category that makes you the other before I even critique what you're saying. And I don't have to critique you because you're a racist. And that's a problem with our culture today as well. So she represents that very well, where anytime people critique something, she says something and then acts a certain way and does the complete opposite of what she says, which is typical of every politician out there, it seems like. She gets the attention she deserves in some aspect. But I'm done talking about AOC. She doesn't need the credit she gets. She doesn't get it. She flip-flops constantly. It'd be different if she had a backbone and just stuck to things and just ignored things and maybe act like an adult. But this is the politicians we have in today's culture. We have little celebrities because they've been treated like celebrities. They've been allowed to stay in power for so long that there's no term limits. It's not a certain thing. They can dictate how much they get paid. These people are celebrities. They go on Stephen Colbert. They go on SNL. They go on all these major talk shows because they're not serious individuals. They're not to be taken seriously. But yet, at the same time, our government has more power than it's ever had in our entire lifetime. So they should be taken seriously in some aspects, as opposed to just being a really tiny government where you're like, yeah, that is a servant's job. That is somebody who's serving me, and I respect them, and I'm thankful for them because I voted them in, and they should get the respect they deserve. Instead, these people are just the same as Hollywood actors in a lot of ways. They don't show up to vote. What they campaign on, they completely flip-flop on because they come in, they go into power, and they get whispered in their ears, and they're, special interest groups get taken over, and who's really in charge? And in some aspects, I feel like people like her take away from real issues of what's going on in the world because we're so focused on what AOC is doing. What is she dating? Oh my God, her boyfriend's feet are disgusting. That picture was shown everywhere. And, I get in some aspects you should mock some of these people because they deserve it, because they've been such rude a-holes to majority of people. But I wish we would just ignore them. There's nothing more powerful than just ignoring people. It makes them frustrated. It makes them question who they are. It makes them question what they stand for. And it makes them want to quit. Pink once said, once you figure out what respect tastes like, it tastes better than attention. And I think a lot of us also have to take a little note out of AOC's book. Just because you're getting attention doesn't mean you're getting respect. Doesn't mean people treat you as a human being. Doesn't mean people care about you. Doesn't mean people love you. Doesn't mean people think you are somebody who should be talked about. Seems like in today's culture, all people want is attention. They're willing to sacrifice respect. They're willing to sacrifice their character, their integrity for the attention they feel like they deserve because, hey, everything's about me. As you were told as a kid growing up, you're a snowflake. You can be whatever you want when you grow up. You can do whatever you want. You are everything. You are what the world revolves around is you. But I'm here to remind you today to not be like our politicians in the media. That today, from now on, have integrity. Be somebody that someone respects. Because attention is fun. Attention feels good. But attention is the most fleeting feeling ever. You can have attention. Like, I'll have a video on TikTok that'll go viral. Feels good. I get all these likes. I get all this attention. And I'm like, this is crazy. And it's usually a video that people misrepresent or call me something that I'm not or something like that, which I love. But we have a culture where people put attention over respect, over integrity, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop being promoted. And I know our algorithms promote attention over respect or things that should be looked at or considered or deep thinking. It's almost like being an orator or being a philosopher of today's time is not seen as good. We just want the TMZ's news. We want our news to talk about AOC and the squad for 30 minutes as opposed to talking about, inflation, how we fix that, censorship, etc. Our media is not to be taken seriously. Our politicians, for the most part, aren't to be taken seriously because they don't deserve the respect. All they are is attention seekers. They want to live in the limelight. They want on the spotlight. They want people to notice them. They want to go on their Stephen Colbert's, their Jimmy Kimmel's. They want people just to watch them and love them. But respect and integrity, those things are foreign in today's culture. And I'm asking and begging you to bring those back because those are more important than a funny clip or a silly saying or something like that. Let me know your thoughts on this. But again, AOC, I'm done. I'm done talking about you. I'm not going to talk about you ever again unless you do something absolutely insane that I have to talk about. But it's just a dumb talking point. And I think that anybody that continues to talk about AOC like she is the most relevant thing or newsworthy thing is just doing it for the attention. Is just doing it because it's an easy story. Is just doing it for the clicks. It's almost like an easy joke. It's like a dad joke in a way, It's like that easy joke where you're just like, really? We're talking about this right now? It's just, there's no weight in it. There's no, it doesn't make you feel like you learned something. It doesn't make you feel more informed by saying, guess what? AOC has COVID. What an idiot. Oh my God, she has COVID and she got 3 shots. And who cares? God. Let me know your thoughts on this. When I go online and all major publications are talking about her, and her silly comments about saying you can't critique me because that just means you want to date me. You're right, AOC, I have a huge crush on you and I can't handle it. I'm proving to you right now, the AOC, that I do not have a crush on you because I'm done talking about you. You put me in a corner, AOC, and now I can't get out of it. When I go on every news publication is talking about her, talking about like she's relevant or something that we should be talked about as opposed to pushing policy. And again, Republicans, this is it. This is who you're talking about, right? Why don't you be for something? Why don't you be the reason people talk? You should be pushing policy. You should be pushing ideas that make people question you and put you on the news all the time, as opposed to you just reacting to what AOC does. You're just gossip freaks at this point. You're just TMZ. Like, it just... Even some of my favorite YouTubers and podcasters who have people that are paid on staff to write things for them talk about this stuff. It's just too easy. It's boring. Let's get over it. Let's stop talking about her. It's just like she is the same thing as what leftist media. You guys should just stop talking about Trump. I don't know why you do. I don't. It doesn't make any sense. I know you do it for the clicks and you do it because there's some kind of emotion that comes about when you talk about him, but you're just putting him in the spotlight. And I thought that's not what you wanted. Up is down and down is up. And tomorrow is Wednesday. God, we just live in an upside down world. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Derek Lachey Show. It means a lot to me. I hope you guys have a great day. And you might be saying, you know what, Derek? You said all those things, but then you didn't provide me with any information. My information for you today is that she is done being talked about by me and should be done talked about by everyone. I don't live in New York. I don't care. That's it. Bottom line, you shouldn't either unless you live in New York. If you live in New York and you live in her district and you voted for her or you chose not to vote for her, but she has some power over you, you should focus on her, I guess, then. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this. I get so bored of, like, anytime I go on these corporate media mainstream sites or I watch their news channels like Fox or CNN or MSNBC or something like that, and they're talking about these politicians like, who cares? AOC getting COVID, how does that affect me? It doesn't. AOC saying stupid stuff, how does it affect me? It doesn't. But yet we give them power and we give them attention. And then they continue to get voted in. These districts in which these crazy politicians live in, I know I'm rambling, but these districts in which these crazy politicians live, like Pelosi and Eric Swalwell and stuff like, they will continue to be voted in because as long as there's a D in front of that name, they'll get